Human trafficking, a violation of human rights. As noted some weeks ago, human trafficking destroys and condemns many people to a modern slavery and consequently reduces the value of human to an object that satisfies his master. The causes are numerous and deserve to be dealt with in order to eradicate totally this evil from our society that is globally interconnected. This violation of human rights takes place, unfortunately, in all the whole world, in the entire world. There's no state which doesn't face this monstrosity, even though some of them seem ignoring its existence. Having said that, facing the roots one by one to apply the solution will be the best way to get a probate result. This is the work that will be undertaken in this presentation. Indeed, since the former policy didn't provide what was expected and the traffickers are still active and inspire in the wickedness globally, the new policy should consider necessary some tremendous changes. 1. Victim protection effort. The state leaders have the heavy responsibilities to stop the traffics that confiscate the passports and the work permits of the migrants and exploit them, asking them for some fees. This will be the beginning of the solution. For those who are already victims of this traffic, they necessarily need to have access to services and shelter without imprisonment in any country. They will not face hardship until they are totally reintegrated. The government need to make sure that the victims and havers and other form of assistance that will not contradict the domestic law. Nevertheless, the victim right, dignity, or psychological well-being should not be neglected but taken into consideration. The second point, the education against ignorance. This is very important. Arguing about the solutions against human trafficking, since François Rabelais, a French thinker, quote this: ignorance is the mother of all evil. We close it. The best solution is to educate the population in order to be aware about this monster. Indeed, Johan Alicia, a financial crime investigator, contended that teaching the children and the teenagers is one of the keys to alert them about the signals to make these vulnerable people discern and run away or shout for help before it is too late. The third point is to reinforce the laws. It is important and vital to reinforce the law that existed already. The lack of reinforcements make the law and policy useless. Giving more power to the criminal giving more power to the criminal police department and justice will be a tremendous move to crack down human trafficking such as prostitution or sexual exploitation, child trafficking as workers and child trafficking through adoption are seen in Indonesia. This happened there and it works. This same thing can be applied. Indeed, this practice was current in Indonesia, and the children through adoption were trafficked and exploited until the law was reinforced. This is how it stopped. No one changed the teams that win. We got to reinforce the law. Another point, we have to reinforce the human rights. The human rights need to be reinforced. Since 42,000 people are living in slavery around the world. That is in year 2011. But right now, 20 millions and 9,000 dwell in slavery, according to the new report from the U.S. State Department. That said, it is good to force all the states in developed and underdeveloped countries to establish some special offices of human rights in the state that will be focused on a fight against human trafficking particularly. It got to happen. Every state, everywhere in the world, to establish those human rights offices. This is those offices are going to be focused especially on human trafficking. That will help to move forward even beyond our expectation. Another point, it is a detection to prevent. It is adequate to add human trafficking to U.S. Suspicious Activity Report, named SAR, Suspicious Activity Report, in order to improve detection. Detection or prevention is better to avoid the trap of human trafficking. All the financial institutions will play an important role as they are doing now. We see the effort made, but some need to be done again. In fact, the banks, Western Union, MoneyGram, Rio, to name few, have to continue on informing the police department and the justice so that they can expose or reveal the red tags. We know those red tags. When there are many movement of money in one account, or somebody receive a lot of MoneyGram or Western Union in a small amount of money, this got to be an alert to make known what is going on. So the financial institutions are very important in this fight. Another point, fighting the poverty by long-run economic growth. All we are saying, poverty plays a tremendous role in this situation. Reducing poverty is an essential element in this battle. Therefore, it is good to create a long-run economic growth in each state, everywhere in the world, favoring happiness, peace, human development. Move from speech to action. Deal seriously with the human traffickers and to be consistent in enforcement. Take also the medical treatment of the victim. To take those medical treatment in charge. Help them to reinsert in the daily life and in the society, because despite the law voted, many victims are still facing the hardship in their life. So we need to help the victim. We need to create some jobs. We need to develop some industry in those developing countries, help them to become independent and wealthy. This is the way we are going to reduce the trap that push them to fall in the hands of the traffickers. If the youths, they go to school, if we create some school to train them, some school or some technological school, this will help our teenagers to have some jobs. And when we are wealthy, they will not fall in the trap of the trafficker. We will promise them some money or some good job in another place, and unfortunately they fall in those traps. So creating what we just call a long-run economic growth is to move progressively until they enter totally in a real prosperity. The new policies may probably help to fight the human trafficking and reduce its negative impact on the society. If all the state respect, cooperate, and follow the international regimes and law, human traffickers will have some difficulty to succeed. Thanks for your attention. For the references, you can see it in the note that is posted on the forum. We are very glad to be able to speak about human trafficking. That is a real issue in our society. This problem exists since a long time, and we're still facing the hardship. But if we change the policies and apply what we just say, what we just go through quickly, if we apply it, victim protection efforts, education against ignorance, reinforce the law, detecting to prevent, fighting the poverty by long-run economic growth, we believe this problem will be soon in our past. Thank you. Daniel Buraimo.